Yes, and welcome back. In our previous class, we were able to create an application like this, where we could click on add product like this, and then click on add a product. We were able to add a single product. By simply clicking on this, of course, we'll have to remove this app bar, but for now, we're just concentrating on the logic. The design, we'll look at it later. When you click on this add photo, we were able to do what? We are able to select a photo like this one, and then when you click on yes, this photo was being loaded and uploaded to our Firebase Firebase storage. So in our today's class, we are going to work on the remaining logic. For example, putting the product name, putting the price, and the details. Also, one more thing, maybe we should also add a place where we should select a category. Because to make a real-world shop, the products need to be categorized. So maybe we need a spinner where we'll be selecting the product category before we do what? Before we proceed. And then once select product category, then I'll do what? We'll be able to proceed. So let us work on that logic. We're going to put product category selection, and then after working with product category selection, then we'll work on the remaining what? On the remaining logic. So what are we going to do? Maybe we're going to work on the product category selection. There are different ways. You can use spinner. You can use dialog boxes, custom dialog boxes, where someone clicks on a certain, he selects a certain item from a list of a dialog box, and then from what is selected, you use it. So one of the two, you can use the spinner. So I don't know which one you should use. I think you should use maybe dialog boxes. That one will be better. So let's do that. We're going to put here product category. So when someone clicks on it, you'll be able to do what? To get the product category. So let's do that right now. So I'll go to my layout. Here, I'm going to add one more view. Under price, I'm going to put category. So I'll come here where there is price. So before price, I'll first ask the information about the product, which is going to be what? Category. So I'll put here maybe category. And then I'll come here and give this ID. This ID as what? ID category, product category. Okay, so when someone clicks here, we should show the dialog box of selecting product category, because they have to be pre-listed. Don't let the user to enter their own things. So without wasting much time, let us go and get that view, which are having that dialog box. I already have this design. I've already designed it before, or you can as well search on it and if you forgot about it. But I have this design. Remember in the previous project, we had this dialog box. So without wasting much time, I'm just going to pick that design, and then I'll paste the code here so that I'll explain it. Okay, so let's do that. So here is our function. I'm going to explain it, don't worry at all. Okay, so this is what we have added. We have added this is just a string. Okay, private static string. It is just a string. It may not even be static. It may be just a string, and we just call it what? Categories, maybe. Categories is our list of categories. Is equal to new string array, and then this array we initialize it with what? With some values. Okay, so our categories are going to be maybe women, men, kids, and maybe electronics. Okay, so that's the category. Those are the categories so far that we're going to handle.
E-commerce shop, right?
Yeah, it will be an e-commerce shop, not a food shop. I changed the idea. Okay, so those are the categories we're going to handle. So there are 4 categories. So these 4 categories are going to, first of all, we decide, now these are the categories that we're going to deal with, okay? So these are static things. I can even make them like a public that I can reuse it. This string, can make public, public, static string, and then I'm going to call it categories. I'm having women, men, and kids. So these are the categories. So after getting these categories, I create this function. I'm going to explain it. It is having alert dialog builder, and it's having the name builder is called alert builder, and I pass the what? The context. Then after, I give this build a title, so it's going to be select category. Okay. So after getting category, I'm going to go ahead and put set choice. Okay. So here you get this build and say set single choice items, and then here you pass a list of what? Of your categories. So you have it here. So just pass here, and then you say the one which is checked by default, it is 0. If you don't want anyone to be checked, you just put -1 by default, or minus anything, so that number is out of the array, so it cannot be selected. Then you add there the on click listener, okay, set on click listener, and then you put the positive click listener. Like when someone clicks on the positive click listener, they'll give you the integer of where you're selected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this category that we just created here, okay, this one. So when he clicks on the click listener, I'll be updating this one, okay. After he selects, I'll update this category. Let me call it category view because it may confuse you. I'll update this one. It's text view, and then to do that, I'll just simply come here and create here. It is what? It is text input edit. Text input edit. I have that one, and then I come and initialize it. Remember always to initialize it. So it's going to be is equal to new. Find v by id. Find v by id r.id.same, and then after I can also set on click listener on it, because when the user will want to click here to set the category. So that's where I will launch the what? The category selection. So I'll put there dot set on click listener as going to be new on click listener, and then here is where I'm going to launch the select what? Select category. So in fact here it should be select category. Select category. Okay. So here I'm going to launch this function of selecting category when he clicks on what? On this category view. So I'll launch this function. So when he finishes, I want to say the text of this category view to what is selected. Of course, he'll finish at this point. Okay. So at this point, I'll just have to set category view dot set what? Set text. Okay. And there, I'll pass the position of this categories in position position I, and I can make sure it is a string by just putting dot to string, but that is unnecessary because the list of what? Of string. Then it means that this category view, it will be updated once the user has selected. Okay, so that is it, and we can put here a string to confirm the selection. It is okay. Okay, and then this one dot set positive. This one was what? In case, okay, after he selects immediately, we can update it. Yeah, in case after he selects immediately, we can update it. So here, after his selection, we can do nothing. We can still again update it, just up to you. Okay. So cancel, just leave it at the word cancel. So remove this one. Okay, so it will be cancel. So that's it. That's it. So we can go ahead and test this. So I'll just update and see what's going to happen. Okay, there we go. So I click on add food, and then I'll click on category. I don't know why my views are like this. Okay, you see, when I click on category, it will show the selection. I don't know why my views are like this, but it will fix it. So you see, you can select the selection. So when you click on main, you can see it has. Now it is making us so many forecasts, you see. So we have to remove the focus on this category because you will not edit anything, okay? So by doing that, we'll just simply come here and say, where is it? The category view. It is here. Okay, so we can put like forecastable attribute, forecastable false. So you cannot focus on this. You cannot focus on this. So I don't know why it is hiding some of my numbers, but I'll fix that one. It's hiding some of my items. Fix that one later. So you have to remove the focus on this. Okay? But it should be clickable. It can be focusable false, but clickable true. Focusable false, but clickable true. You can click on it, but you cannot focus on it. So click there. So when you click one time, it shows, but you cannot focus. So when you click on OK, there's something wrong. That's something that goes wrong. Something that really goes wrong. That's what it could be. So come at low cut. No, not this, not this, not this. Okay, I have to do what? Let me first stop this guy. There is something wrong. Let us run again and see. Okay, click on add food. Let me delete this. So when you click on category, so the problem comes there. Let us click on select a food. Is there any warning? Timeout expired, white flashing in the socket. That's not my warning. That's not my warnings. Okay. And the work is just the same. They're not my warnings. Okay, so when I click on OK, there's something that kind of crashing, but I don't know what makes it crash. Let me do nothing on clicking OK, and you see, because I'd already set it here immediately when I think maybe remove the because remove the focus. Oh, okay. This is another application. Okay, click on add food. And category kids. Of course, has been selected. So this counts. I can make it just as okay. It's now okay. Even if you can see the text that has been selected. Also, I can come as well and make it here I can come and what and make it a
this one on the
text view. Yeah, you also think the same. The click should be on the text view. No, the user will not click there. The user will not click there because he will want to click on the input, and that's why I want to launch the what? The category. It is set, it's now okay. But I don't know why my items are not showing properly. I don't know if it's because of the background. first remove the background and see. This background outline. Okay, so you have to proceed. Now this category is already done. Now you can select only the word cancel has to be changed to OK. Or you can still say the positive, click listen, and still don't listen to it. Okay, click on add product. I don't know why it is showing half of it. Maybe it's because of my emulator. But as you can see, it has been selected. Kids, women, it has been selected. So without wasting much time, let us proceed. Or if you want to maintain, for example, see here when I click on selecting, it again forgets it. When I click on OK, it does not show what is selected before. So you can go ahead and just put here an integer, a string, or a variable of an integer called selected. By default, it can be 0 or it can be nothing. So selected category. Okay. So by default, it will be 0. Now here on the selected, you can make it what? You can make it when you select, you update it by what? By I. So here, instead of putting this, you can put selected. So it will be the initial. Understand that logic? So that's it. So without wasting much time, we had one more thing that would not do with Firebase images. For example, now you don't have the link. Remember, after uploading the product, you need a link of what? After uploading the photo, you need a link where you can access this photo. So that's another problem that you not do that time because of time. So let us go and do that logic, okay? After successfully uploading a photo, you need the link to the photo, because in Firebase firestore, it will be separately accessed. So let me first go to our project. And select the project. So the photos, you can see, they are there. They're coming. But the problem, and also have to work on the logic of avoiding them to overwrite each other, because they are using the same name. So you have also to do what? To get the link, because you don't have the link. So see, when I click on this photo, I can preview it at this point, but I don't have this link that I can access and put it anywhere. So that's what we want to do right now, okay? And so to do that, when was this photo uploaded successfully? Let us go to that logic. Upload successfully. Read to this one, okay? So here, I'm going to write the logic of what? Of getting the link. I can write a separate function, but for me, I want to do it to make sure that I write it in the right place. So to do that, I will write this code somewhere. I did not memorize it all. Okay. So after uploading the file, you have to request a link. That's also another separate logic that we write separately. Let me explain it. So I'm going to put here the code because I want to rewrite it again to waste time. So here, after making sure that the file has been uploaded, so I'm going to request for what? For the link of the file that I've just uploaded. So this is how we request for it. You get the reference. Remember, I had a reference here, storage reference. You have a reference where we stored that, the file. It is called main, then you put the what? The image. So I'm going to get this reference and put it here. No. We just copied too much thing. Wait. Okay. I want the reference after uploading the file successfully, and I want to get the what? The URL. The URL. You just get the reference. Okay. Now this reference, remember, it has a what? It has a child with the what? With the path. So you have to add that path, because you don't add it, then you not get it. And then you add this .get download URL and add on success listener. Okay, so that's when they'll send you the link. It's just a simple thing. I don't know why I even don't memorize it. You just get the very path that you've just put the image or the file, and then put .get download URL like this, and then you add on success listener. You put new on success listener like that, and they'll send you the what? The URL. So you can also, it can fail as well, of course. That add new on fail. Okay, so those are the two simple steps. Okay, just very, very simple. Now I can add here complete. So that one is always complete. Complete and on complete. So this one always called whether it is failing or successfully added. Okay, so this function will be called when this event will be called when it is added or not. When the link is coming back or not. So here you'll have to get this URL and extract the link from it. Okay, so this is where you get the product photo. So why we will save this product and the new product that we are adding. You remember created did you create the model of a product? Did you create it? For the, I think not yet. Okay, so does now create the model of a what? Of a product, so that we should be adding these things while you're adding them in a model. So to do that, I'll just simply come here to our activity, to our package, and add another package. I click new Java package. Where is the package here? Model or models? It should be one, I think. It should be in singular. And then I can add there new Java class. It's going to be maybe product model. So there we go. And then this product will start putting our things very fast. So it's going to have public string public string. Okay, let us be faster. So that has going to be product ID. It's going to be nothing by default. So you have product what? Just put name even that product name. Name is going to be there, or title, price, category, description. So this price you can put integer. I can make it as string, no problem. Let us make it integer for simplicity sorting. Integer is a very hard thing to work with. So after details, description, and then also URL image. Okay, in case you'll have just one image, but you can have many images. Can be a string of images, but for now we deal with only one image at the moment. Okay, or can put photo. Okay, product photo. What else have we left about the product? For now, I think these are the ones that we're dealing with. So all these are just public strings. So let's go ahead and create a product model. Okay, so going product model, I'm going to call it new product. Let's put new product by default, serving just a default constructor. Okay, so new product here. When I select the after getting the image, I have to update its image method. Okay, so where is it? It is here. So here on success, I'll just simply put product method dot what? Dot photo, right? Is equal to URI dot to string, like this. So after doing that, then I'll have for the product photo. So we'll go ahead and get the product ID. By the way, another thing, if we don't want this photo to be overwritten, let us use the product ID to be the product what? The product link. I mean the product name. What I'm saying that because we see these photos being overwritten every time, because we are using the same name. So if we don't want to overwrite it, there are different ways we can use it, but among the ways that I'm proposing, we can use the product ID to become the product name. Remember, product ID, we are going to be getting it from Firebase Firestore. And Firebase Firestore will do the whole logic to see that the IDs, they don't look what? They don't look the same. So let us use the product photo, I mean the product ID, to be the product photo. That can also help us to predict when you're deleting, just like we just get the product ID and we delete this photo, okay, using the name. That is the idea of that I've heard that it can help us. So it means that immediately after creating on the bind here, on the bind view, where's the bind? Okay, this one. Immediately here, we should get the what? The product ID. So that's a very good thing. So let us go ahead and add the what? Firebase Firestore. Okay. So simply come to tools, and then come here, Firebase, and then come here to Firestore. And then come here to get started. It's already added, okay, it's already connected, but it's not added yet. So I have to add the Firestore also. Click there. So to start adding these ones, wait for a minute as it is done what? That is syncing your project. So for us, we'll need this, the instance. So once you have the instance, I can just, it is still syncing. I hate, so okay, it's done. So come here and create a public DB. So I can call it public DB, okay, like this. So I have the instance of Firebase. So here on the bind, I'm going to create also another public final. I'm going to call it string. I'm just going to call it product table, where we'll be saving the products, okay? So I'm going to call it product underscore table, because I want to repeat myself, and that can lead to what? Mistakes. So I'm going to call this one products, like this, okay? So this will be a link, I mean a table that we'll be using. So this is public, it means that we can reuse it even in different parts of the activity. So after doing that, we'll go ahead and get the product here. Here, immediately in the bind, we should get the what? The product ID. So the new product is already here, okay? So to get its ID, it's going to be dot what? Dot ID is equal to DB. How is it crying? New product DB dot what? Dot collection. You have to first add the collection, okay? The collection is going to be this one, product, okay? Like this. Understand? Then dot what? Dot get dot document. Here it will get you the ID of the collection. But when the document inside the collection, just put dot document and then big dot getter dot ID, get ID. Like this. Did you understand? Yes. So here at first we now have the product ID that we can reuse again and again. So now here when we are getting the image, when you're uploading the image, instead of putting images or stroke images, put it images here. You can put as well maybe products, okay, and then here stroke, I attach the what? The ID. Product what? Product ID. So we're going to create a folder called the product and to attach there the product ID at the front. So here when you're uploading here, when you're getting the product image link, so I have to remove this and put the same thing because it has not changed. You understand? So now there we have done on that logic, and then here on success we get this image. So that's how we'll be doing it. These listeners, you may not even listen to them if you don't want to do anything with them. Maybe in case you want to put a default image, like in case it fails, you can, but in case you want to do anything when it finishes, maybe uploading a photo only, and when it finishes you want to do something, you can do it from here. So you can put here like when it finishes, in case it fails, you can make a default what? A default URL, okay? Or the photo, right? In case it finishes and if it fails, you can make a default URL. So let me get here dummy and splash product. See here if they have any product. Okay. So we can get this one to be as our default product image, but that does not look like a default product. Okay, you can get this one to be a default one. Okay. So to do that, just simply click on the image, open image in new tab, and you get its link, right? Exactly as it is here. Okay, so by default that will be our default product. Doesn't look like default product, but for now it can be as a default product. So that in case it fails. So we are good to go, right? So let's go ahead and click on when someone clicks here on this listener, or let us add here a listener. When someone clicks here, that you should know that he's done here. So I'm going to call it button done. So I'm going to create for it a what? An object. Okay. So we'll simply come here on top and put here, it's called what? Image button, Image button, call it button done. We already have it? Yeah, we already have it, I think. Okay, so here, okay, on done, once I'm in the what? The product. We already do it, okay? So let us put here the logic of submitting the product. We had already done that. You had already done that logic.
Yeah, it was here.
Wait, which logic is this one? Uploading the file.
Processing.
Oh, yeah. Uploading the file, right? Uploading the file, okay? Yeah, I remember. Okay, so here so we did not upload. Why did he close the dialog? But we did not upload the what? The file data now. Okay, now we want to upload the what? The file data. Yeah, I get it. So here we can first make sure that before we upload even a file, we first make sure that things okay. Okay, before we upload the what? The file. First of all, we can get the product image. We have done it. We can get the what? The ID for the product name. Okay, can get the ID for the product name. I don't know. Do you have any padding here that is hiding these things?
ID will come automatically.
Yeah. Okay, ID will come automatically, of course.
After name.
I don't know what thing is hiding this.
Not put the ID.
Okay, so let us put the ID. It's going to be a product name. Very good. So can come here and make for it what? An object. Okay, bind. Text input edit. Product name. What else? Category, we're done with it. Price. you have price. Okay. ID, product, price. Oh, this is details. I hope it's the same input. Okay, so we go here and put the what? The price. This one, right? Okay, so put here a comma, and then we duplicate this. Perfect. So after doing that, yeah, we're good to go. Now we add here when we are submitting, we have to get these things, okay? So on submit here, I have to get new product dot what dot name, title is equal to product what name dot to string. So here I have to make sure it is the input of type number, yeah. Okay, to string, and then after I'll have to simply check if it is empty. Make a simple toast. Product name can't be empty, and the return we go and get price. Okay, we have to first find the price. We have to first get it. So it's going to be product what? Price. So it is an integer. First of all, I have to check if it is not empty, because an integer, it may crash your application. So you can first check if that what is empty. We first check itself. If it is empty, then we can return immediately without even doing anything. Can be empty, we return. So when it's not empty, that's when you can go ahead and do what? And convert it to integer. Okay? Just put integer dot value of product price dot to string. Okay? Now here you have to put also in try and catch, because if it fails that maybe user found a way to put their words, your application not will crash. Catch exception so in case still we find the product price is not here like this, maybe it is less than 0, maybe if it is equal to null, integer can be null, maybe it's less than 0, then you can tell product price can't be less than 0. That's how you can go through. You can go around with that with integer collection. You first check if there is really some data, then you use try and catch. Otherwise, if you don't use this one and it is having maybe some problem, your application may crash. But here you'll be safe from crashing. And then after, you get So after doing that, we have to go and get the details. Then be new product dot details equals this dot get text dot to string. Okay, so after doing that, I think that's all. Category. Remember, we had said this category, the each text. So let me put it here.
But the name you did not give the text.
Eh?
For the name.
The name, we have not done that.
You did it, but you just put the string.
Really? That is so bad. You could suffer. That is done. So here I'm taking what? Price. Yeah, directly. Dot get text. Like it's here. Okay, so let's get also a category here. Category dot what? So it's going to be what is category view? How will I know it? Category. Where do you have the set text? It's called category view. It is here. There it is. So in case this category is not selected, you can go ahead and say you must select product category, and then here we can launch it. Select category, can launch the function. Also here, when it fails, you can also go ahead and do it, and for request focus. Yeah. So that's it. I think. Maybe in case you want to limit the user also to must upload the product photo, you can also go ahead and do it and request for it. So that's it. I've done the photo. I've got the photo. Did you put the product photo? You did it. I've done the title, category, the price, and the details. Let us put there some damage to save our time. And let me use the other logic again. It's going to waste our time. Let me just put, for the sake of learning, let me just put any here. Just put some views just for text, simple product. I don't know why it is like this. I'll look at it later. Category, okay, category of what you can select it, price, the serious multi-line was not working. Multi-line was not working. Text multi-line, and we are specifying the input, the lines. And then, okay, can put here the price. Category can select it. Yeah, that's it just for dummy. Okay, so here we'll go ahead, we collect the data. I think I've collected all the data that we need, and then after, if someone passes this level, then you can go ahead and upload the product part to the product image if it is there. So if it is not there, then we can upload also now the data on firestore. Okay, so I can put here a function to upload on firestore. Okay, so submit or upload, I can just call it anything, upload to fire and put here toast time to upload to firestore. So there are scenarios that will take to call this function. Okay, let me explain. Here when you click on submit, we get the data, we collect the data in the inputs. Once as we are checking, so once it reaches here, then we know, okay, we are good to go. And the first thing that we do is to check if there's an image. If you don't select an image, you tell the user you must select an image, if that is how it is actually our rule. So if you select an image, then you put here, we launch the uploader. Okay, say that progress, set title, then upload it. Okay, then here in uploading, we put in storage reference, and then you put a name of the file where it should be uploaded. And when it finishes on success, what do? We do what? We call this on success, we put the on success listener here. So in case it finishes, so we will request for the what? For the link. So once we get the link, now we have to go ahead and do what? And call the firestore uploading. Upload now to firestore, because then here make sure that you do what? That you return, so that it should not go beyond here. Okay? So still also it fails, you can go ahead and do what? And request to upload to where? To firestore. Okay? In case it fails, you just set the default image, and then still you request. So one of these will be called either success or fail. Okay? So after doing that, here it was also in case it failed to upload. This is in case it failed to get the link. Okay? Now here, in case it failed to upload. Okay? So in case it failed to upload, you can say still set the what? The default image, and then go ahead and upload on what? On firestore. Okay? I can put it like a toast, fail to upload photo, just for the user to know. And then I do what? I set the default image, and I request file the firestore. So on complete here, I'll not listen to it because I don't mind about this completion. I put all the scenario on top. Okay. So here, I know all the scenarios, they will all call firestore, but only one scenario would call it either success of this or failure of this one. So here the firestore, now here, remember I did not close the what? The dialog progress, because also to upload in the firestore, it will need some other more processing. So I remove this dialog and I remove this on complete here, because it's not completed. Then I will call this function, time to what? To upload first. Okay? So first we already have the database, so it's going to be db.collection. We already have the collection product table. Dot what? Dot document. Document. We already have our what? Our product ID. So it's going to be new product. Dot what? Dot ID, product ID. Dot. Then you put on success add on dot add dot id dot set, sorry, dot set. Okay, we have to set now the data dot set, and here we put simply put the new product, okay, which is new product. Then add on success listener, I mean that add on success listener going to be new on success listener. I want to tell if the user has successfully updated or not. On, oh, it is on complete. Okay, new on success listener. Okay, then you can make here a simple toast like product has uploaded successfully. Uploaded successfully. Okay, then we can put here finish to return back, or you can switch to another activity at this point. Okay, so you can do what? You can return. Okay, then you can go ahead and add on fail, add on fail, new on failure, and then you can say, so here if it fail, will not return, you just keep the user here. Okay, fail to upload a product. Okay, you want to keep the user in case he failed. Upload, because you can get the reason in the exception. Okay, it dot what? Get message. Very good. You can make, for example, long. Okay, then remember to close the what? To close the dialog. Okay, remember our progress dialog is still there. Progress dot what? Dot hide, and put those dismiss. Also here you hide it. Before you finish, make sure that you hide it. So
the highest order.
so by doing like that,